what I'm like seeing and hearing is a man who just wanted to get to the weekend. Like he just wanted the weekend to be over. He wanted the race to be on, competitive until the end. That really is it. Competitive until the end. Like he. What is going on, guys? It is JJ here, back with a new video, and today we are going to take a look at a more in-depth sort of overview of the last weekend of Imola for the one AYRTON Senna. Now, obviously, I think the reason we are doing this video is because they touched on it briefly when we took a look at the history of Imola video. Absolutely amazing video. Formula One, when they decide to do like the documentary type stuff and sort of go into the history, it just gives you goosebumps how well they actually produce it, how well they actually make it. I love every bit of it, and it made me want to go search more and to learn more, especially learning F1 for the first time. It's been sort of a pleasure to sort of learn the history of the sport, the figures that were involved, every little sort of detail, every niche thing that is involved with it. So, you know, I can have that knowledge in the back of my mind. But anyway, we're gonna take a look at AYRTON Senna the last weekend at Imola. Not sure how in-depth this is gonna go. I'm hoping it does not show his crash. I've said multiple times on this channel, I don't want to see any F1 crashes that are leading to people dying. Like, it just seems insane. It seems extremely intense, bizarre, not something we need to see. But nonetheless, we're gonna take a look at Imola 1994 in just a more AYRTON Senna perspective. I know there's others involved. I mean, there was another driver that weekend who did die, which is also insane to think about, that they're sort of not brought up in the same light as Senna. Obviously, they may not have been as big of a figure, but still. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this as well. Please go take a look at we did Imola qualifying. We had an Imola qualifying video. Imola is just happening legitimately while I'm working during the days, and it sucks because I want to do live streams for them. We will be live streaming tomorrow, which, by the way, that link will be in the description or in the comments if you're checking out this video for the first time or later today or the second time, I don't know. We will be live streaming the Imola Grand Prix. We will be watching the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix live on the stream. I missed the sprint race and I missed qualifying live streams, wasn't able to do any of them, but we will get the Grand Prix. I will be awake for that on a Sunday. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below though, and let's get into AYRTON Senna last weekend at Imola. As well, guys, you find the original video down in the description below. That McLaren is gorgeous.
He was the only driver I knew who never thought he'd get hurt. I mean, he's openly said that Alan Prost has quoted it many, many times. And I don't think for 1 minute that was his downfall. That was overcommitment, that was overconfident. Because anyone can get hurt at any time.
One particular thing that Formula One can provide you is that you are always exposed to danger. Danger of getting hurt, danger of dying.
But he wasn't scared of that.
He remains the greatest driver to have raced in Formula One. Others considered him a flawed genius who believed he had a God-given right to win and would stop at nothing in his pursuit of victory. AYRTON Senna still continues to inspire millions 24 years after he lost his life on that fateful day in May.
And they have the corner, just honestly they should name, or is it Tamburello, where he lost his life? They should rename the corner after him. I mean, you already have the statue there, you have the monument to him and his legacy. Might as well just rename it.
The Brazilian had enjoyed a troubled start to his 1994 campaign. He was struggling to get to grips with Williams' FW16, as driving aids, including active suspension and traction control, had been banned, leading to cars becoming more unstable and harder to control. A spin in Brazil at the opening round and a first corner collision next time out in Aida only served to underline the pressure Senna faced heading to the season's third round in Imola. Pre-season favourite, having joined reigning champions Williams from McLaren, the three-time world champion was already 20 points behind the up-and-coming young charger Michael Schumacher in the standings. Only victory in Italy would be good enough. The weekend started on a solemn note, as during Friday practice, compatriot and friend Rubens Barrichello crashed heavily at Variante Bassa. The curbs on the right-left chicane launched Barrichello's Jordan into the tyre barrier at unabated speed. The young driver was knocked unconscious and taken to...
So legit, like the whole weekend just started off with like a giant black flag, a cloud over their heads. It would just continue, like that's, oh my
to the
goodness.
medical centre with thankfully nothing more than a broken nose and bust lip. Senna rushed to his compatriot's side, clearly worried for his welfare. But the next day, tragedy struck during qualifying. The Austrian Roland Ratzenberger crashed his Simtek heading into the Villeneuve curve at huge speed and suffered fatal injuries. He was just 33 years old. Senna commandeered a safety vehicle and went straight to the scene, trying to understand what had happened. Following the news of Ratzenberger's death, Senna talked to his friend and confidant, Professor Sid Watkins, the FIA's safety and medical delegate. Consoling a clearly emotional Senna, Watkins said, "What else do you need to do? You've been world champion 3 times. You're obviously the quickest driver. Let's give it up and go fishing." Senna replied, "I cannot quit. I have to go on."
Which, I mean, obviously he was probably trying to do that in jest, but little did he actually know what was going to happen. 2 crashes in 2 days, one extremely hurt the driver, the other fatally kills the driver. And they just expected the race to go well? It's a head scratcher. It's a mega head scratcher. Like, I don't get what they expect. I don't get what they expected to happen. I don't know what they expected to happen coming into this. Like, it blows my mind.
Following a restless night, Senna still remained uncertain of whether to race. His old foe, Alan Prost, remarked on how utterly different and indescribable Senna's mood was. Distracted and tense, he talked safety with Prost and wanted to reform the Grand Prix Drivers Association to help increase safety. He continued the same discussion with former teammate and good friend Gerhard Berger prior to the race. On the grid, he found a brief moment to smile from pole position when the crowd cheered for Ferrari and Berger, saluting his old friend with a grin as he put his helmet on for what would be the final time. No sooner had the lights gone out and there was a shower of debris, some of which entered the grandstand and injured several spectators. JJ later had stalled his Benetton on the grid and had been hit from behind by Pedro Lami's Lotus. The safety car was called into action, much to the frustration of Senna, who signalled for the safety vehicle to go quicker as his Williams' tyres struggled for heat. Lap 6 and Senna was flat out at the restart, pursued by Schumacher as he rattled through Tamburello, something he had done hundreds of times before.
What I'm like seeing and hearing is a man who just wanted to get to the weekend. Like, he just wanted the weekend to be over. He wanted the race to be on, competitive until the end. That really is it. Competitive until the end. Like, wow.
As the Williams and Benetton passed the start-finish straight as one to begin their 7th lap, the world of motorsport was about to change forever. Senna's Williams veered to the right of the left-hand Tamburello curve at 190 miles an hour, colliding with the concrete wall lining the outside of the track. The force of the impact caused the front right wheel to come into the cockpit, an errant piece of suspension fatally striking Senna in the head.
I did not realize that's how it happened. So you're telling me one of the greatest drivers to ever live in F1 lived, died, and was killed by a piece of suspension from an... Why did they not think of the halo earlier? Would the halo have even helped in this instance? It probably could have. I mean, he's got the helmet on. A piece of suspension hitting him that hard in the head probably it was going to make it through the halo then either way. But still,
surrounded the stricken Williams, Senna's motionless body was laid out on the track as his old friend Watkins stood over him. One of the greatest drivers to have raced in Formula One was gone. The exact cause of the accident will never be known. Was it a technical failure? Did the steering column break? Was it a slow deflating tyre? Perhaps Senna had pushed too hard and made a mistake, such was the pressure he was under. A sporting superstar was lost, but Senna's legacy as ensured F1 has been on a never-ending quest for safety ever since.
That's still so bizarre. It's still so bizarre. 34 years old. 34! Probably had a couple more years left, maybe a bit of punditry. Could have been a great role model to up-and-coming drivers. Could have changed the history of Formula One still. And he had many more years to do it. And that's Imola. That's so disheartening to actually. I'm glad they didn't show it, but it's so disheartening to even hear how it happened. The most bizarre race weekend probably of all time. But yeah, refocusing. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Obviously, this whole race weekend is all clouded with that Senna crash and clouded with the Senna tragedy and the tragedy of the weekend that is Imola 1994. But we are here to not only praise the legacy of Senna, but also to praise what he's done for the sport. And I mean, it's continuing on now with the races that we had this weekend. So we will have the sprint race video on the channel, hopefully early tomorrow, not quite sure. And then we will be live streaming the Imola Grand Prix. The link to it will be in the description. We will be there for the live stream. There will be no skipping it, no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not exactly 100% sure how early the race is in US Central Standard Time, but it doesn't matter to me. We will stream that race. So let me know what you guys think though of the Senna last weekend video. And yeah, I hope you guys have a blessed weekend. Have a good one. Peace.